Hi, this is Chris. Today I'm going to do a watercolor painting in my watercolor travel journal. I want to paint something from my garden, and that is this Dutch iris. It was difficult to get a picture of it to print out correctly because the blue is so intense. It just overpowered the computer and the printer and everything. I even tried it on photo paper and it came out even worse on photo paper. And usually what I like to do is paint live. I like to cut a flower and bring it in the studio or sit outside and paint it while it's still growing. But this little Dutch iris is the only one that bloomed. I planted bulbs about 2 years ago and I never got any blooms last year, and then this year finally one bloomed. It was so pretty I couldn't cut it. So I took a picture of it, so we'll try to work from that. I'll use this view here, and then I took this just to show some other angles of it, but I don't care for this part up here. And so I will put an image of that on the screen so you can see it as I paint. But for me, it's going to go up here somewhere, if it will stand up. I have this clipboard. It was an old one of my mother's. I think it was old when she bought it. But I painted it. It came out cute, I think. So I will use that to hold my image where I can see it. Now I have my book. I have my water cup, my collapsible water cup. I took this to Scotland with me. And I have 2 palettes and an absorbent cloth. This is actually a puppy piddle pad that I saw somebody using this somewhere, and it worked out really great. It's great for taking on location because it absorbs the water from your brush. It doesn't get soggy and limp and wet, and seems to dry out pretty quickly. This is my palette. These are all Winsor Newton professional watercolors, and I'll put a chart up so you can see. And then over here I have Peacock by Holbein, and I have Opera by Daniel Smith, and those are 2 really bright colors that are good when painting flowers. So I'll put those sort of up out of my way. I don't know if I'll be needing them or not. My water bottle. And I'll put my water here. I have a drafting pen. This is a Rotring isograph. I used to use rapidograph, but I had trouble finding them. And these are just as good. I really like these drafting pens. And Magic Rub Eraser. I really like this because it's very gentle on the paper. And what I do when I'm traveling on location is I cut it into little pieces, and I have several pieces with me, and that way if I drop one between a couple of rocks or something, I still have more erasers. And then I have my brushes. And my 2H pencils. And I have a selection of brushes. I have a couple of Winsor Newton. I have Robert Simmons. I really like Robert Simmons' White Sable. It's a synthetic brush. Both of these are Robert Simmons. They've held up really well through the years. There's cat hair on these. I've got the door closed so Buddy doesn't interrupt us and jump up on the middle of my table. This is also a Robert Simmons. And these little ones, That's also a Robert Simmons. And Grumbacher, and this is my Series 7 Finest Sable from Winsor & Newton, and it's had a lot of use. So it's a little worn out. So I'll probably be using some of the pretty small ones because it's a small painting. I have my Banker's Clips, and as I said, my book. So we'll find our page, and first I'll show you. Where is it? I did an iris earlier. Here's the iris. This is a bearded iris. I have a lot of these in my yard. And the bearded iris have the little fuzzy bit along here, and then they have larger leaves. Their leaves are quite a bit wider and sword-like. Whereas the Dutch iris have narrower leaves, and they don't have this fuzzy bit on here. So, I will go ahead and start drawing, and I'll come back to you and we'll start painting. I know you can't see that, but I want to do light lines because I don't want my lines to show up too much. But I'll see if I can make a correction on the video to show this better. In the light areas you can see that there's quite a few undertones of reddish violet color. So I'm going to put those in first as an underpainting. continuing glazing to build the form and the depth. But I think I'll take a break right now and put in the yellow. So I'm going to use a cad yellow pale. And I'm going to put in the green, and I'm going to use olive green for that. With some of my ultramarine. Okay, there's my Dutch iris. I didn't like the way it just abruptly ended, so I put it in some grasses. It kind of makes it look like a really short iris in little grasses, but that's the top of the grasses. So now we're going to put down our title. And I like to put my little cartouche here. And that's our iris. Thanks for watching and have a great day painting. Bye-bye.